Hey there, Ulti Zeta here, and welcome back to more Let's Play Pokemon Sword. In the last episode, we were catching a bunch of Diglett. And by catching, I mean looking around for them. Here's another one to immediately start off our quest. We're here in Soothing Wetlands, apparently. Where I last saved. And I think since I'm not, like, going for, like, ocean-y stuff, I am going to initially try to just find the rest of these 17 Diglett without immediately looking it up. Just because, like, the main annoyance I had was, like, the watery area, but, like, if I'm not in a watery area, I feel like... Because I wasn't looking it up during, like, that previous area from... What's it called? In the Courageous Cavern. I had it pulled up, but I wasn't actually looking it up. I was just kind of exploring the area, as, you know, one might naturally do so. So, I think, for right now, I'm just going to be doing that. Also, I did say at the end of the previous episode how I was like, oh, I don't know how long this is going to be. I will determine that and find out if I want to start a new episode or just continue on. And I didn't really look at how long it took too closely, but it felt like it was like, you know what, if it's a short episode, then it's a short episode. I don't particularly care. It's a new session for me. I want that to start a new episode, so I'm just going to start the new episode. So here I am, starting a new episode. So, my plan and expectation is to just finish up this Diglett quest in this episode. However long that takes. So, yeah. That is my goal. Is there anything I want to, like, talk about during this? Oh, that's a different area. Good to know. Is there anything I want to talk about, or do I just want to cut around? Like, I can very clearly cut around to stuff, but, like... Is there something worth talking about? I mean, I feel like I've made my stances clear on, like, the games, and, like, most of these mechanics. So I don't know if there's, like, necessarily an opinionated thing for me to, like, really discuss, per se. I don't know, it's kind of tricky. I feel like one thing I've because I've been, like, doing, like... I thought so. I've been doing, like, the thumbnail, like, making thumbnails for this game as I, like, do all the episodes and, like, kind of record those and then, like, rely on them and, like, see how things are turning out, I guess. Like, I do them in the moment. And so one thing I've kind of, like, seen from doing all the thumbnails that I've been doing is that I have seen that this is my longest Pokemon playthrough since Gen 5, which is interesting that Gen 6 is... and Gen 6 and 7 are both shorter than Gen 8. However, the interesting thing is that's only true because of DLC. And if I was not doing DLC, then in fact this game would have been shorter than Gen 6 even, which is... I just want I saw a sparkle. It's interesting to me because it's like... Gen 8 did kind of feel short like that. But, like, having it, like, put to, like, numerical terms... That's a giant bolt. Having it put to, like, numerical terms like that. Of, like... Oh, it's, like, a couple episodes shorter than these other Pokemon games. It's, like... That means it's probably about, like, at least an hour and a half shorter, if not more. Because, of an average of 45 minutes per episode. It's like, yeah. That feels about right to say that it's, like, 45 minutes shorter. Per episode. Approximately. I mean, it's all approximate anyway, but, like... You get the point. So I think it's just kind of interesting that, like, Gen 8, before its DLC, was just the shortest Pokemon game, hands down. And so, like, I don't know, an interesting topic, and I think it also kind of could relate to, like, why for many people the games didn't feel as complete. Just another way the games didn't feel as complete initially, was just that there was less in them. Never mind what people might conceive of, like, difficulty or whatnot, or, like, engagement, or story, but, like, even just in terms of, like, raw content, the games did feel shorter. And I think part of that is because the intent of the game, the intent of Sword and Shield, was to, like, focus more on the wild area. Like, you were meant to, like, explore the wild area way, way more than what I actually really tended to do, typically. Because when I would go to the wild area, it would just basically be when the game, like, prompted me to. But you can go to there anytime you want. Go, continue to explore, do all the max raid battles that the game's, like, trying to get you to do, that, you know, I don't like. But it's like, you know, the game is trying to, like, encourage that more. And so that's perhaps why some of the other content is a bit lesser, because it's like, the game is, like, trying to get you to do that, and if you don't do that, then there's less to do, I guess, is the main gist of it all. And I guess, like, that's not, like, inherently terrible, but I do think it does hinder if you play Pokemon games in, like, a particular way. Obviously, Pokemon, as it stands, is, like, very open-ended in terms of how you play it. Like, that's part of the charm, is that, like, there are so many ways in which you can enjoy the game, and I think that's one of the problems with Pokemon Legends Arceus, is that, like, that's a game that appeals to only a very certain subset of Pokemon players, and if you aren't into, like, the things that Legends Arceus promotes, then it kind of becomes a shit show of, like, oh, well, this sucks. Where's the things that I like in Pokemon? They're not in this game. And so it just becomes a lot more frustrating. I don't know, that's how I felt. I thought the battling system was awful in that game, and a lot of why I play Pokemon is because it's an RPG, I want to do battles, and Legends Arceus not only had less battles, but, like, the battle system was just downright terrible. I will flat out say that. Like, the way they affected the speed stat, and, like, just the stat distribution in general is, like, nonsensical to me, but, like, the speed, what they did to speed specifically, like, really fucked things up. And just made things absolutely infuriating to me. I mean, if you want more of a detailed, like, reason why I took issue with that game, I mean, I have the whole stream VODs. If you can put up with some yelling and screaming at Enamorous, then you can probably deal with, like, you can probably watch those playthroughs, that playthrough. But yeah, like, just in general, Wooper, just in general, it's, like, Pokemon has a lot of things that you can do, and, like, you can catch all the Pokemon that you want to, and I feel like that's where the wild area's appeal really comes from, relatively, because it's just, if you want to catch Pokemon, that's where the wild area comes from. But if you're less about catching Pokemon, especially catching old Pokemon, then the wild area doesn't have as much to go on for it. Honestly, I feel like if they had some sort of, like, Diglett quest like this in the base game, that actually might have helped it out a lot, because, like, if there was a thing where it's like, oh, you can't go to this area, but you can look for little special things, and then you get cool rewards for it, it's like, I think that could have, like, solved some of the issue of, like, wild area exploration, and give it at least, like, something more than just, if you, for those who don't care about catching Pokemon, there could have been something more to do. But I don't know. Kind of all it boils down to, I guess, is just pacing, and honestly, I don't really envy the Pokemon designers, just in terms of, like, because the games are set up in such a way that's, like, there are so many different ways to play the games, like, how do you balance that? How do you balance that effectively? It's kind of a miracle that they've been as effective as they have been in other games, in terms of, like, just making sure that what they're doing isn't completely alienating. The fact that Legends Arceus is one of the first times where that's ever been really bad to me, and the fact that so many people still loved Legends Arceus is kind of a testament to, like, testament to something. I don't know exactly what that something is, but it's a testament to something. Because, like, I certainly don't... Like, I know how I would design a Pokemon game, but I don't think it would be a Pokemon game that's nearly as mass appealing. And, like, while I will always say that, like, the more mass appealing you get, the more bland you tend to get, because, like, I mean, to me, look at Pikmin 1 and Pikmin 4 comparatively. Like, Pikmin 1 is a very niche game that I feel like is a much, much stronger game than Pikmin 4, because Pikmin 4 is just trying to be mass appealing, and as a result, took away a lot of what I feel makes Pikmin Pikmin. But that's just me, and more people love Pikmin 4, so it's like, I don't know, maybe they're... I'm not gonna say they're onto something, but they're like, their goal is to make money, so they want to sell to as many people as possible, so being more mass appealing is, you know, more profitable. And so then the trick is, like, how do you balance, like, how do you balance it? And I think they balanced it very poorly, but I don't know. I guess most people would say that they balanced it well because they really like Pikmin 4. Pikmin 4 is one of the best-selling Pikmin games. Everybody loved it. I hate the game with a burning passion. Whatever. I always bring it back down to Pikmin, don't I? I'm a Pikmin head. Where are the rest of these Diglett? There's like 9 left, and I haven't found a single one in a while. This area is not that huge. Maybe I should start looking it up now, because, like, I'm not finding any more Diglett. But yeah, like, the more mass appealing something is, I do feel like the less interesting it tends to be. I feel like it's better to hone in on, like, one core idea that will, like, be a stronger idea, rather than being something more mass appealing but then less engaging as a result. That's my stance on that matter, at least. But overall, like, I get that, like, other people... Because, like, you also don't want to be too alienating. Again, it is ultimately just a balancing act. How much are you willing to sacrifice more mass appeal for the sake of... more players, and lack of... like, narrowing in on a niche idea, sometimes it's just not going to appeal to everybody. Like, that's why I brought up Pikmin 1. Like, a lot of people did not like the timer of that game, the isolation of that game, the vibe of that game was, like, very atmospheric, very itself, and it was not mass appealing. Some people didn't like the length of the game. Some people didn't like the simplicity of the game. I don't know. Like, the point is that, like, Pikmin 4 is more mass appealing. But with Pokemon, it's difficult because, like, I would say that in Pokemon Red and even since Red and Blue, they haven't had, like, a single core idea. They've been able to balance a bunch of different ideas pretty darn effectively in their own right. From the very get-go, they had, like, battling each other, catching Pokemon, beating the single player, doing multiplayer things. Like, there's always been, like, a bunch of different ideas in Pokemon, and, like, a bunch of different ways to play Pokemon. So, I think it's inherently very, very difficult to try to, like, narrow in on an idea, because, like, you constantly will risk alienating, like, long-term fans since Gen 1. Although I guess they do that all the time, whether they want to or not. But you get the point. Like, if you focus on just battling, then you're ignoring all the people who like collecting Pokemon. If you focus on just collecting Pokemon, then you're ignoring all the people who like to battle Pokemon. Who like to make it, or maybe they're like me, who like to make a single team and just use that team instead of like alternating all the time. I don't know. Point is that Pokemon game design is hard, and I cannot find a single Diglett, so I'm just going to start looking them up now. Because I have been Diglett-free for quite some time. Okay, here's one by this giant pond and thing. Nine more remaining. This one's sneaky, right over by this little area where we got chased by that Bouffalant. Let me just blame the Bouffalant. There's another one right here? Wow, okay. I moved like 5 steps and it's right there. Okay, I'm gonna keep blaming the Bouffalant then. Alright, there's a big tree. This pile of grass is angled like this. And there's a Diglett right here. So that big tree's right over there, and right over here, by this patch of yellow, is yet another Diglett. Wasn't I here earlier? Yeah, there's the big old tree. Why didn't this thing take me to this thing right here, right now? I don't know, there's the big old tree again, and by this little small tree, there's a Diglett that I missed. Honestly, kind of surprised I missed this one. Well, here's that big tree again, and here's some of these other smaller trees that I've been exploring, and once again, it's leading me wildly around, but over by this log is another Diglett. This order that it's telling me to go to these things in is just very confusing. It's like, why not put all the trees out? Now, the next one that it wants me to check is by the tree. And would you look at that, by the tree. Why not I check the big tree? Whatever. Maybe I just missed it. I'm just not good. Okay, so this one's a little tricky to, like, pinpoint, but, like, the river is right over there, and there's this, like, patch of grass. It's like, the river's over there, there's a patch of grass, and, like, if you kind of go by this thing, and there's this Diglett right here in the middle of nowhere. One more remaining. And here's the last Diglett. It's over by this trio of... Well, I guess not trio. There's 5 trees. Right over here in the patch of red grass. All Diglett in the Soothing Wetlands. Yay! Now here's my first Diglett in the Challenge Beach area. There's 8 more left. This one's kind of like right by the entrance of that place. Hello, Magnemite. Oh, and here's another one. I'm not looking it up until I've at least done, like, what feels like a thorough enough search on my own terms. And then I'll go look it up afterwards, but, like, I don't think I've even really been to this area yet, so it feels like going around looking for 6 Diglett probably won't be, like, the worst thing in the world to, like, just try and find and see how I do on my own. And then, if I struggle, then I've got the list right in front of me. So. Here's a Diglett by the Tower of Waters that I somehow missed. Here's one right up by the beach. Pressing A on you. Pressing A on you. Gimme. There's a Diglett hidden in this bush. Sneaky. Okay, Okay, by this big rock. Here's Diglett. 2 more remain. Up on this little craggy area is another Diglett. 1 more remains. And over here at the very corner of this craggy area is the final Diglett. I found all of these without looking them up. Neato. I feel like for the smaller areas like this, it's honestly pretty viable. Next is Forest of Focus. I've been here so many times, and I've found hardly any Diglett here. So I think for the Forest of Focus, I'm just going to look this one up. That's for sure. Well, here's a Diglett by this berry tree. I don't know exactly where this is. I've been trying to find the first entry on this list, is the thing, and failing at it. But I found that one on my own on accident, because I'm just trying to figure out where I'm supposed to go. This place really is an annoying maze. Okay, so... berry tree there. In that direction is Training Lowlands. And right here is a Diglett. Daytona, USA. Okay, well, there's a slope you can access the water here. And all this other stuff. And there's a Diglett right here. And the last Diglett is right by the entrance? How did I miss this one of all places? It was just really obviously right there. Okay, forest done. This place is a nightmare to navigate. I'm glad I'm done with it. Here's a Diglett in the Training Lowlands on this sort of shelf right by the stairs. 12 more here. Right here is Brawler's Cave, and over here immediately is another Diglett. And on the other side of this exact bridge is another Diglett. Over there is the forest, and right here is another Diglett. Over by this lone dead end, again, is another Diglett. Oh, this one is sneaky. Should be noted, I've given up on just finding these on my own. I just want this whole thing done. I've already been recording for 50 minutes. So I've looking them up all now. That's the warm-up tunnel right over there. On the exact opposite side of that previous Diglett, there's this one on this rock. Hi! What are you doing here, Pierce? Are we gonna have to fight? What's up? Why are you just standing here in the rain? Okay. You're just here? Sure. I mean, you're allowed to be here, but it's like, you're not even gonna give an item, you're not even gonna be like, oh, let's battle or something. You're just gonna be like, oh. Well, that's weird. There's like a river area over here, and there's a Diglett over by this corner. Or by this wall that kind of leads up to the area over there. There's another Diglett here. Back over here by this little lake river area, by this tree this time. Found these out of order. And over here on the den this island with the den, that is, there's another Diglett. Back over by this beach area, where we found Piers, who's invisible due to render distance stuff. Now the last one should be a tree by the wall over here. This tree? Yep, this tree. Alright. Finding these with the guide is pretty simple. I'll say that much. Lara is here in the Pot Bomb Desert for some reason. I guess we found her. Because she wasn't in the other area before. Hi. I'm eavespeeping. Just forget ever seeing me here. We got your rare league card. You can keep that if you promise to keep your mouth shut. On what? That you were in a desert with a slowpoke? I have no idea. Well, I guess maybe now that I found her there at some point, I'll be able to refight her. Maybe I'll do that at the end of, like, this whole shenaniganery. But regardless, it's time to get everything in Pot Bomb Desert, which, I believe is the last area for me. Which is the interesting thing. I think once I do this... It's another Gigantamax, but I did another one off screen for Gigantamax Toxtricity, and also got murdered because because of the AI opponents being really bad. So it's not worth doing on your own, and it's like, it's frustratingly disappointing, is what I would call it. Because it's like, I want to be able to do those things. Because in theory, they're not even, like, mechanically terrible. It's just the fact that, like, the AI is so horrendously bad, and also I don't understand why, like... Oh, hi. I don't think this is what I was looking for, but I found it. But, like, the AI is so bad, and, like, because, like, they won't always attack, they won't always use the best moves, but they also, like, will pick, like, really shitty Pokemon, and I think because you don't get to, like, choose anything of what you, like, want to, like, have with you during it, like, you don't get to pick the Pokemon, you don't get to pick the partners, you don't get to pick that stuff. So it just kind of leaves you with luck of the draw. How the hell did I miss this guy at the top of the hill? I don't know. But it's just kind of, like... It's obnoxious. And there's also, like, other weird things because it's like, oh, but, like, why does the enemy Pokemon get to use 3 damn moves suddenly? That doesn't make sense to me. Especially when it's like, oh, and it uses, like, spread moves that hit everybody and kill 2 Pokemon in one go, like that. Yeah, that's fun and fair when only 4 Pokemon can faint in the entire time. It's like, come on. Why are you like this? So it just, in the end, it frustrates me. And it really just does not feel like they tried to make it work with one person. And that will always just frustrate me, because again, like, at the end of the day, like, having multiplayer options, awesome, cool, great. I don't think that's really a problem, to have multiplayer options. But, like, it's also trying to masquerade as this single-player thing, too, and it's like, why? Like, if it's only really viable in the slightest with multiplayer, then don't allow it to be a single-player thing that you attempt, because then you just lose and fail. And it becomes more aggravating than anything else. one more Diglett, like, somewhere around here-ish? I think is gonna be the one I'm missing, maybe? Question mark? Okay, I see these rock formations in the picture. Picture present. Kind of is, like, taken from around here-ish? I think I got this Diglett already, which means that I scrolled past one in the list that I've already gotten. That I haven't gotten, but it looked like I did. So I guess that's one of these other ones that looks like I did get it. Might as well keep talking now, because I'm pretty certain these are the last... This is going to be the last Diglett that I have. So... Figures that, like, the most open and least identifiable, like, area is the one that's going to be the most confusing. It also doesn't help that I've already been to these areas, so I already have the items, so it's like, they're like, oh, buy this rock that has, like, this special item by it, and I'm like, I don't know which rock that is anymore. One of these rocks apparently had a protector. This one... Yeah, there's a tree in the background, so... By the... Oh, right, yeah. There it is. Gotcha. Okay, cool. No, I accidentally talked to my apple. Okay, that's every Diglett in the desert. Now, let me just check the map. I did Bottom Desert, I did Honeycomb Sea, I did Honeycomb Island, I did Insular Sea, I did Stepping Stone Sea, and I did the Workout Sea. I did the Fields of Honor, I did Loop Lagoon, I did Courageous Cavern, I did the Challenge Beach, I did the Forest of Focus, I did the Soothing Wetlands, I did the Brawler's Cave, I did the Challenge Road, I did the Training Lowlands, I did Bottom Desert, and I did the Warm-Up Tunnel. I do believe that is every area that I've Digletted. So let's find out for surezies. Did I get you all of your Diglett? Or did I miss one? 103 Diglett came back to you. One of them evolved into Dugtrio. You hit 50, so you're gonna give me a Marowak. A Raromac. Okay. I'll take it. 75. Gives me an Alolan Executor. Okay. And 100 should be a starter. Yep. This one depends on which one you got. Which Pokemon you picked. So it's the fire type, because it's the fire type Alolan starter because I picked the fire type Galarian starter. You know? It's that vibe. So there's that. And we got all the Diglett. Which means that, of course, there's only one possible way this whole side quest could end. Of course, our reward is an Alolan Diglett. Why would it not be, you know? Why would it not be? I am, like, running dangerously low on male names to choose from. Okay, Diglett quest done. Let's see if I can fight Clara to end this off, because I definitely am cutting a bajillion things out of this episode. I did not heal up, because I just realized that. I did not heal up, and I was expecting, like, oh, you'll go to the thing, and I wasn't expecting instantaneous teleportation. So, I mean, I'm fine. It's just that I think one of my Pokemon's dead. I think Jamie's dead. But it shouldn't be too bad. I'll just start with a Draco Meteor, sure. This is gonna hurt me. Oh, shut up. Well, that stinks and a half. Yeah, I'm a little injured, it looks like. A little itsy-bitsy injured. I set up a Stealth Rock. You got Crunch. I took your battle armor. Well, unfortunately, I'm going to die if I try to get off an Earthquake. If it's using Crunch, then Roy will probably be good. Put in here. It's kind of funny that I've, like, given myself this disadvantage by not healing, but I just didn't think. I was like, oh, I'm done with all this, I'll just fight her. And it just, like, it was surprisingly, like, abrupt to fight Clara again. But hey, we're at least getting to see her team be more, like... be more, like... engaging compared to, like, where it was when we fought her when she was, like, level 12, you know? It's a little more akin to, like, where it would be if we fought her just flat out in the post-game to begin with. Well, this Drapion is not dying. I was really kind of hoping that the boosted stealing would be enough. Now I might die. Yeah. Well... this dumb Drapion is just... not killable, I guess. I don't know. It's too fast is the problem. I don't have anything that's gonna, like, be particularly good on that. A lot of my team is actually pretty slow. There it is, faster than everybody on my team. Maybe Jamie would be faster, but Jamie is dead and started this battle dead. Okay, the Drapion of Doom is defeated. Oh no, you took my Prankster! It's not like I'm gonna really use it, but whatever. Okay. Nothing I have is very effective. So you know what? I'm just going to take the L here. And use a... Max Revive. I don't know why I missed it the first time. Max Revive on Jamie. I need Jamie. Oh, you're toxicking me? Okay. That just gives me a little more time to do stuff, I guess. Sure. Is I'm basically using Ian as a bit of a sacrifice here. Strange Steam. Ouchies. Yeah, I feel good about this. Doing this. It's fine. I don't mind. Alright, Ian goes down. That was desired and expected. Alright, this guy's gonna have Levitate. So let's get Rory back out. I'm just gonna go for a Steel Wing without a Hone Claws. Why do so many characters in this game react to random things? I mean, I guess it's like, oh, I used a super effective move, but still, it's just annoying. I don't like using Steel Wing. Oh, okay. I guess I could have Hone Claws did. I don't like using lower accuracy moves, but oh well. Scolipede. Well, I know one thing. That's that. You're a bug. Why do you have... oh, probably because you're, like, trying to toxic stall stuff, but, like, you don't have the toxic available to you, so... And if that's how you're gonna want to play, I'm just gonna Hone Claws. Eggcorn should not do anything to me. If this is your vibe... Yeah, I knew there was another one coming, because that's how Protect works, usually. So that's why Hone Claws did twice. And now... I should be able to just kill you with a Steel Wing, rather than hitting myself with a Brave Bird. Because I'm low enough on health that I don't want to deal too much damage to myself with Brave Bird. I'm not pulling any punches or wings. Out comes Slowbro. Everything's effective neutrally. How many Pokemon do you have left? Oh, this is your last Pokemon. Okay, Brave Bird then. Slowbro, time to dream bigger and be bigger. You're gonna Gigantamax you. Or Dynamax. I don't think there's a Gigantamax form. Yeah, there's not a Gigantamax form. You're just Dynamax. Oh, you lived. Well, ain't that a stinker? However, it is slow. So in theory, I should just be able to hit it with, like, Draco Meteor or something and kill it. Or, you can have a quick claw ability. Sure. Didn't realize that was a thing. Ow. This is the longest battle ever. Okay, have that not activated this time. How about that? Cool. Problem solved. And that's fighting Clara. Yay. Okay. Anyways, that's everything that I'm gonna be doing on the Isle of Armor. So, next time on Let's Play Pokemon Sword, we're gonna return to the base game for a little bit. Not a whole ton of time. I've been thinking about it, and I don't think I'm gonna be like... You know, I'll tell you in the next episode. So, see you guys next time.